Good morning from Jakarta, right here at TVRI World Studio. It's August 17th today, so first thing to say, Merdeka, a happy Independence Day to all fellow Indonesians from wherever you are watching our program today. We are continuing TVRI World's special event commemorating the 78th anniversary of Indonesia's independence. We've started the program since early morning today with our fellow anchors Narendra Pawaka and Luisa Kusnandar. And now for the next part, you'll have me. I'm Siska Becker.
And I'm Audrey Utoyo. And yes, and thank you Eda and Luisa and also the team this morning for the coverage on the first part of the 78th independence anniversary of Indonesia, such like the preparations being made for the ceremony at the Merdeka Palace, the procession of Kirap Bendera Pusaka or heirloom flag carnival, where the duplicate red and white flag and the proclamation text are being delivered from Monas or the National Monument to the Merdeka Palace using the Kencana Ki Jaga Raksa carriage. They also reported about the gradual arrival of guests to the palace wearing a variety of Indonesian traditional clothing.
Wow, that must be quite a sight because Audrey, I read on a source that this year the palace has sent out a total of 16,000 invites.
Wow.
So it's going to be a packed palace today.
That's a lot, yeah.
And in the spirit of celebrating independence today, even though we are not attending as guests at Merdeka Palace, but here we are vibing and embracing the spirit of unity in diversity, wearing Indonesian traditional clothing, specifically traditional attire from North Sumatra or the Batak Toba tribe, made of ulos cloth, traditional woven fabric of the region, which looks really beautiful on you, Audrey, I must say.
Thank you, Siska. I would say the same for you. So I love your
headpiece. Thank you.
Yeah, I love this outfit. And for the next 3 hours as well, Siska, we will witness together a meaningful and essential as well as symbolic moment of the Indonesian Independence Day. That is the National Independence Ceremony and the raising of Sang Saka Merah Putih, or the sacred red and white flag at the Merdeka Palace as tribute to the struggle of our heroes and representation of our pride as an independent nation.
Of course, it is something that we look forward to. And also, don't forget, Audrey, we have our reporters ready to give you updates about the situation post-independence ceremony from several regions all across Indonesia.
Yes, that is true, Siska, and we definitely cannot wait to meet them later on air. And I'm very excited for the ceremony today because we'll also be celebrating the spirit of Indonesia's future. Hopeful future leaders, the Paski Braka, the sacred red and white flag hoister, will perform their duties today. Siska, do you know that they are actually a selection of the best male and female high school students representing each province across Indonesia?
I know. I'm sure that they must be feeling really excited and elated to be at the palace.
I would be too.
I would be too. And maybe just a tinge of nervousness, but that's normal, right? I'm sure they're very happy to be able to finally perform what they've been practicing for the last few weeks at least. Now they're there, and I'm sure all their parents watching right now from homes also feeling very proud of watching their children finally in action at the presidential Merdeka Palace.
Yes, indeed. And we've also got word that currently there are also preparations that are being done at the palace, and we can see even from yesterday's and weeks before, people have been preparing, and the members of the Paski Braka, as we said before, some of the best female and male high school students, they have been preparing for months. I heard that there is also this camp, Siska, for the Paski Braka. And during this camp, they are able to practice for the opening ceremony, the flag raising ceremony for the Indonesian Independence Day.
Wow, that sounds really exciting. I cannot wait to see them perform later on. Now, Audrey, I heard from the head of the Presidential Secretariat, Heru Budi Hartono, who has stated that there's going to be some changes this year. So something is going to be done differently than last year's in today's National Independence Ceremony. Like, for instance, in last year's independence ceremony, the 5-class acrobat during the ceremony was done by only the pilot from the Indonesian Air Force. But this year, trained pilots from all 3 forces of the national military will conduct the fly past.
Wow.
And the organizer has prepared venue and installed entertainment stage for Videotron at Monas, and also the Jakarta governance has set up Videotron at the Hotel Indonesia roundabout to allow for a wider public audience to see for themselves what's actually going on at the Merdeka Palace.
And I'm sure like that's honestly really great, because it is not only going to be at the Merdeka Palace, but also people around Jakarta who are as excited to celebrate our National Independence Day today. They can see it from these videotrons all over Jakarta.
I know. So not only 16,000 people are attending the ceremony at the palace, but I think the whole Indonesia will be tuning in to see all the festivities that'll be going on at the palace later on. And also, Audrey, don't forget, in our second part of the 17th Independence Day anniversary, right here in TVRI World, we'll also be accompanied and talk with experts in their fields who will share with us their knowledge and their thoughts. And there will also be a historian. We're going to be talking about from the historical aspect of today, about how Indonesians were expecting the most historical moment in their lives back then in 1945.
Yes, and we're most definitely interested to explore more about that, because I think I have to brush up on my knowledge on Indonesian history, especially today, such a momentous day for Indonesia. 78 years of independence, 78 years of a journey from the start of our independence in 1945 until now. So that is a conversation that we truly look forward to.
Indeed, because today is not just about celebration, it's also about appreciation of the heartfelt struggles by our independent fighters who fought so hard so we can enjoy this luxurious years that we're having now as an independent nation, and also as remembrance. So we truly appreciate what was actually sacrificed for us to be an independent nation as we are today.
Yes, that's true. And I think it's days like today, Siska, it's days like the National Independence Day, in which we as a nation and as a people can truly come together as well with our motto of unity and diversity. Even from different parts of Indonesia, we can appreciate our culture, we can appreciate our share and national identity. And that's why I love Independence Day. It's honestly one of my favorite days.
It is a party for all Indonesians, that's for sure. Now, we're still waiting news about the current situation at the palace. We hear that the president is about to enter the venue. We're going to keep you updated on that. In the meantime, just to give you a bit of a heads up of what we're about to do in the studio. So we have a lot of guest speakers coming in today.
We do.
Not just the historian who will tell us all about the historical aspect of today's history, but also we have a former Paskibraka personnel from 2017 who will share with us her experience being a member of the Paskibraka, from the training and those feelings that you feel when you're there at the Merdeka Palace, hoisting the sacred red and white. That must be quite an amazing experience to share.
That's true. And not only a former Paskibraka member, but also we will have in the studio a member of the advisory board of the Pancasila Ambassadors Indonesian Paskibraka, or the PPI. So that is also something to look forward to later on today.
All right, so now before we go into the details of today's ceremony and before we talk with our speakers, let's first see several selected news for the opening of today's special program. Okay, we're still gonna wait for that selected news that we've compiled, but now maybe we can actually say hello to our guest speakers who are here in the studio.
Yes, definitely. We have currently in the studio joining us is Mr. Bondan Kanumoyoso, historian from the University of Indonesia. Hello, Mr. Bondan.
Hello, good morning, Mbak Audrey, Mbak Ziska.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us in the studio. And also we have Mr. Gatot Dewa Broto, a member of the advisory board of the Pancasila Ambassadors Indonesian Paskibraka. Hello, Mr. Gatot.
Yes, of course. Good morning, gentlemen. And first of all, Merdeka. Happy
Merdeka.
Yes, happy Independence Day.
Very exciting day indeed for all of us. Now, as we are waiting for the live feed to come from the palace, we would like actually to take a brief travel back in history.
And also, in
Yes.
addition to Scout, we have another guest joining us on via Zoom, the former personnel of the 2017 Paskibraka, Ratu Bilkis, to share her experience. Hello, Ratu. How are you?
Good morning, Ratu.
Halo, good morning Kak
Morning,
Audrey, Kak
Ratu.
Siska.
Yes,
Pagi,
thank you
Pak.
so much, Ratu Lubis, for joining us. It's great to have you in TVRI World. And so, yeah, let's just begin. We would first like insights, especially. Let's start from Pak Bondan. What are some interesting historical facts about our National Independence Day that the normal public would normally never learn about in school?
Maybe you can like illustrate to us, Pak Bondan, like right now at this very second, what were the residents of Jakarta and Indonesia was hoping to get in 1945?
Yeah, actually, our proclamation that happened in the 17th August 1945 is not really known by the people of Jakarta at the time. Because actually the proclamation is preparing in the context of Panitia Persiapan Kemerdekaan Indonesia.
Yeah.
But the young generation of 1945 at the time, they pushed Sukarno and Hatta to do proclamation earlier than in the context of PPKI. So that's why at the time, actually people of Jakarta didn't know a lot about what happened actually in Jalan Pegangsaan Timur number 56.
Oh, there were not like a big crowd there from the
actually
local residents?
the youngster or the young generation of 1945 at the time preparing the proclamation not in the in front of Sukarno house, but in Lapangan Ikada, in the Ikada field. But because the Japanese government at the time forbid any big event to be held in Jakarta, so that's why the place for the proclamation is moved to the house of Sukarno in Pegangsaan Timur number 56.
I see. Okay, now if we move back a little bit more, we understand that actually the proclamation of our independence was done quite hastily, to say the least. There was this really brief gap in the history of Japanese occupation in Indonesia with the bombing at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And some people thought that would be the best opportunity for Indonesia to actually proclaim the independence. The momentum, right? So there must be like conflicting ideas and conflicting opinions on how to actually conduct the proclamation.
Yeah, there was a different opinion about how we should done our proclamation between the old generation represented by Sukarno and Hatta and young generation at the time, because the old generation, they believe that the Japanese government at the time, they will support our independence. But the youngster, they don't want Indonesian independence is proclaimed under the context of Japanese occupation. So that's why this is a two opinion that at the time become main opinion among Indonesian people.
I see. But yeah, good for us, Sukarno and Hatta listened to the young people at the time to reach for the momentum at that time and proclaim our independence. Otherwise, maybe the history of a nation would not be the same.
Yeah, will be not the same, but we will gain our independence actually.
Yes. Okay. Now, before we continue, Audrey, we're now going to go to Aryo Bagus, who's going to tell us how about the festivities happening right now in Yogyakarta.
Yes.
Celebration of Independence Day. Let's see what Aryo Bagus is up to right now. Hi, Aryo.
Hi, Aryo.
Hello, a very good morning, Siska and also Audrey from Yogyakarta.
Hello, Aryo. Can you tell us more about the festivities that is happening right now in Yogyakarta? We can see that on the venue right now where you are, it seems like people are having some games or dances behind you. Please tell us more about that.
So, Audrey and also Siska, the flag hoisting ceremony held at one of the busiest and also oldest traditional markets in Yogyakarta, which is Pasar Beringharjo, just finished a few moments ago, and now continuing the celebration of the Independence Day. The participants of the flag hoisting ceremony now joining the traditional cultural and also music performance. As you can see behind me, they are so excited to celebrate this year's Independence Day. And I can tell you that earlier this morning, more than 300 people joined the flag hoisting ceremony held at Pasar Beringharjo, Yogyakarta, which is, as I have mentioned before, one of the oldest and busiest traditional markets in Yogyakarta. And since earlier this morning, the participants consisting of local merchants under the Yogyakarta City Local Merchants Association, porters, cleaning service officers, parking officers, as well as the Yogyakarta trade service staffs, enthusiastic to join the ceremony. They wore the Yogyakarta traditional attire and costumes such as kabaya and surjan as an effort to preserve the local culture. And from the information we gathered, the flag hoisting ceremony at this well-known traditional market, which is Pasar Beringharjo, Yogyakarta, was held because the local government, the organizers, want all the participants of the flag hoisting ceremony to be able to commemorate the ancestor struggle in earning the freedom for our country in the past, as well as to maintain the sense of nationality. And speaking about the nationality, Pasar Beringharjo, Yogyakarta, I can tell you that this place is one of those places that that was able to maintain the sense of nationality, as every single day Pasar Beringharjo, Yogyakarta will play the national anthem of Indonesia, which is Indonesia Raya, at 10 a.m. sharp. So all the people who are currently at Pasar Beringharjo, Yogyakarta should rise and also stop their activity and also sing the national anthem of Indonesia, which is Indonesia Raya. And back to the ceremony, acting as the leader of the ceremony earlier this morning is the head of Yogyakarta Trade Service, Veronica Ambar Ismu Wardani. Siska, Audrey.
Wow, that sounds so exciting. Now, after the flag hoisting ceremony, will there be more festivities happening at Beringharjo Market? Because there would be quite a sight for foreign tourists who are visiting Yogyakarta right now at the moment, right, Aryo?
As I have mentioned before, that the upcoming agenda is the announcement of the sanity competition for the all the traditional markets under the Yogyakarta Local Merchants Association in Yogyakarta City. And yeah, from our monitoring in this area, trade activity at the place or Pasar Beringharjo is still ongoing like usual. So people and tourists are not supposed to worry, because they can still purchase their necessities or anything they required to buy from the market, despite the ceremony and all the agendas are being performed as the flag hoisting ceremony, as well as the agendas are currently going on at the third floor of the Pasar Beringharjo, which is the parking area. So it won't affect the trade activity at Pasar Beringharjo, Yogyakarta. And yeah, that wraps our report from Yogyakarta, from Pasar Beringharjo, Yogyakarta, Aryo Bagus, and camera person Ucu Adritama reporting for TVRI World. Siska, Audrey, back to you. Merdeka!
Thank you so much, Aryo Bagus from Yogyakarta. Enjoy all the festivities, and please, maybe he can buy us some batik from Beringharjo Market.
Oh, that's true.
That would be amazing, right?
I would love that.
Okay,
Wow,
we now go back to our guests,
Yes,
Pak
we
Bondan
do.
and Pak Gatot. Now we spoke a little bit with Pak Bondan. We now like to say good morning again to Pak Gatot. Thank you so much for being here. Very excited to talk to you a little bit more actually about one of the highlights of today's ceremony at the Merdeka Palace, where we see our best presentation of the young people who will be hoisting the sacred red and white flag. Now, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the significance of having representation of the young people right there at one of the very important moments in Indonesia's agenda, national agenda. Pak Gatot?
Yes, that's correct. Every time we celebrate the Independence Day in the Merdeka Palace, one of the focus of not only for the president but for others, VVIP and VIP, and even for those watching from the television, the streaming, is Paskibraka performance.
Yeah. Yes, of
that
course.
is the peak of the celebration. And that's why, just for information this morning, because I stayed since last night with the same hotel with all of the adik-adik Paskibraka. This morning when I threw the lift this morning at 5 o'clock, I feel surprised because they were ready, and then they were very handsome for the male, and for female very beautiful. And then just a shock, I asked them, "Are you ready, adik-adik?" Ready, kakak. They call us kakak because we are as a pamong here, pamong Paskibraka. And then please supposing that in the morning, very early in the morning, they have to go to the istana. Even this at the time after that, they have to get a small briefing and then breakfast and then preparing for the parade.
What time do they usually arrive at the palace?
Before 6.
Before 6, so very early in the morning.
The performance should be done after the Detik Proklamasi.
Yes.
Because at the time after the breakfast and then a small briefing again, and then to be ready for the performance, and then from 7 to now, it's very, very critical under pressure time. And then later, Ratu could share to us, because Ratu is a former Paskibraka.
Yes.
On 2017. I will still remember last time when Ratu attended what is called the pengukuhan, the inauguration of the Paskibraka, and I was lucky to be with Ratu because I'm reading the pledge, the ikrar, the loyalty to Indonesia. And then Ratu is one of the Paskibraka in 2017. And back to Jakarta again. And then because of the focus is to the Paskibraka, and hopefully there will be no mistake, even this small, mild mistake. It looked like we have to avoid any mistake like this one. And that's why they have to be trained for the 1 month in Jakarta. They are coming from all of the provinces in Indonesia, not only to be trained based on the marching, but ideology, and then performance, and the medical record, and also the nation state. They have to get the broader knowledge about the history and other political and economic situation.
Okay. Pak Gatot, before we continue, just quickly, we move on to the live feed from Merdeka Palace. We see the Vice President of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Maruf Amin, just arrived there at the palace, ready to join all the invitees and the VVIPs to celebrate Indonesia's independence. Now, while we wait for more news from the ceremony itself, maybe, Audrey, I know you're very curious to know how it actually feels to be one of the Paskibraka. You can ask Ratu Lubis that.
I am very curious. Yes, Ratu, I would like to know, how did you feel when you were chosen to be one of the Paskibraka at the presidential palace? Because it must have been surreal. And what was your impression and experience when you were Paskibraka?
Okay, first and foremost, good morning, Ka Audrey, Ka Siska, Pak Gatot, and Pak Bondan. Pak Gatot, it's really nice to see you again, although
Thank you.
it's virtually. But serving in this prestigious role is a great honor and responsibility. Paskibraka members are chosen to uphold the United Nations value, discipline, and unity during the Independence Day celebration. We undergo, how do we say it, religious training, both physically and mentally, to ensure that we execute the flag hoisting ceremony flawlessly. My personal experience is beyond any word that can describe it. It's happy, it's fun, it's proud, but at the same time, it's a bit terrifying with the big responsibility that I held for 6 years ago. But it is a very great experience. It's nothing like I ever experienced in my life.
Okay, Ratu, maybe you can take us through what was it like at the very early morning of 17th of August in 2017 when you were serving as one of the member of Paskibraka on the D-Day. How was the emotion? How was the feeling? I'm sure it's a mix of emotions for sure, but maybe you can illustrate to us clearly what happened that day in terms of feelings and emotions for you.
it felt like my heart is going to go out of my chest. I need to hold it all the time. But it felt really good. I felt very energized and I felt really ready because first, I'm not doing it alone. I have 67 other male and female with me as part of the team. So it's a big teamwork process when it comes to the Paskibraka hoisting team. And then, but all I can remember was getting ready up in the morning, doing our makeup, getting ready to put on our uniform, and then going to the Independence Palace together to prepare for the morning ceremony.
Okay. Just listening to it, my heart beat faster just a little bit.
Pounding right now, yes.
Must be quite nerve-wracking, but also exciting at the same time. What's also exciting is what's happening in South Sulawesi, Audrey. I hear there's a very special flag hoisting happening, and our reporter from South Sulawesi, Arsil, is ready to tell us more about it. Arsil, please tell us about this very special flag hoisting ceremony in South Sulawesi. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Audrey and Siska, and good morning to you, viewers. And let me begin by saying Happy Independence Day to each and every one of us. Of course, we are exactly turning
2023, and to commemorate this special moment, each
and every citizen in Indonesia have their very own tradition to commemorate this special moment. And not without exception from the Gusung Palasa community, who have a tradition every single year to hold a flag ceremony, whereas years and years before they hold the ceremony under the water, but not this year. This year is very special because they hold the ceremony above the surface, and by presenting the red and white flag spreading across 78 meters, and the 78 meters is according to the years of the independence of Republic Indonesia. And of course, before presenting it to the world, the huge long red and white flags spreading across 78 meters, they hold a beautiful ceremony here in the Bosowa beach by holding and attending and by acting as the instructor of the ceremony is Professor of Panjudi Pajun. But want to mention and emphasize the importance of having a strong sense of nationalism and a spirit of patriotism, and we should all, as a citizen of Indonesia, have a strong love for our beautiful country. And of course, by presenting it to the world and becoming a series of this activity is this Natalis of Wood has 67 years anniversary, and the community as well wants to promote the Indonesian Sea and the spirit Monde Archipelago to everyone involved. And by presenting these beautiful long 78 meters red and white flag to the whole world, by parading it across the shoreline and then continues by entering the sea. And by entering the sea, we should all hope for a better future, a better generation, and a great Indonesia. And that concludes my report from Makassar, South Sulawesi. I'm Arshil Asmar. Back to you.
Okay, wow, Arcel, thank you so much for your report. Quite exciting, yes, for the unfurling of the Merah Putih flag under the sea. Well, right now we just got word, Siska, that before Vice President has arrived, and now let's look at the TV poll.
Hadirin dan tamu undangan yang kami hormati, sesaat lagi akan kita ikuti jalannya upacara detik-detik proklamasi tahun 2023. Perlu kami sampaikan, demi tertib dan hikmatnya upacara, bagi yang membawa telepon genggam dan alat komunikasi lainnya, dimohon berkenan untuk dinonaktifkan atau diatur pada mode diam selama upacara berlangsung.
Right now, I think this is the housekeeping section of the ceremony. They're reading out the rules and regulations for all the invitees who are now all decked in the traditional regalia of Indonesian traditional costumes, looking very beautiful and handsome. This is a beautiful representation of unity in diversity for Indonesia as we celebrate the 78th independence right there at the Merdeka Palace. You see, it's full house. As we said, there are 16,000 invites were sent out by the palace this year.
That's a lot of people, and I love seeing the different cultures
Yes.
that people are wearing as well and represent. It just shows the beauty
I know.
of the cultural diversity we have in Indonesia, Siska. It's almost as if it's a little bit of the Met Gala, but it's at the presidential palace.
In traditional costumes.
In traditional Indonesian
instead of
costumes.
couture
Yes.
costumes. Just previously, we saw Bapak Luhut Binsar Panjaitan with Ibu, also wearing traditional costume, and then the head of National Police was also attending.
We can see Bapak Erick Thohir as well, with Ibu and Bapak Basuki, Minister of Public Housing, Public Works.
I'm sure all the ministers are there celebrating.
I believe that currently also the Paski-Braka, I'm sure as Pak Gatot mentioned before, they are getting ready. They are, it is a critical moment for them.
And that's why we always encourage them, please pray, depends on their belief. For example, for the Muslim, please istighfar. And for non-Muslim to pray based on their belief. It's a very, very critical time now.
It's a way to calm themselves, calm the nerves.
Even those, they have been exercised, trained by military, very tough. That is very, very critical time. And do you know, I think Ratu later could share to us what happened after the ceremony. They cry together. They cry together because of successful event.
And the relief of emotions.
I cried with my friends.
Wow. Because this is Pak Gatot, this is zero mistake policy, right?
But you know, I've been watching the independence ceremony at Merdeka Palace since I was little, since I was very young. And never have I even once saw any mistake done by the flag hosting ensemble, the Paski-Braka.
It did.
Never.
It did. During the Pak Harto era. I knew from my friends, of the alumnus of Paski-Braka.
Okay, the second trumpet now.
Upacara detik-detik proklamasi dalam rangka peringatan Hari Ulang Tahun ke-78 Kemerdekaan Republik Indonesia tahun 2023 segera dimulai.
tegak, senjata. Gerak. Istirahat di tempat. Gerak.
Komandan upacara memasuki lapangan upacara.
Pimpinan, saya ambil alih. Pasang sangkut. Gerak. Parade. Istirahat di tempat. Gerak.
Hadirin dan tamu undangan yang kami hormati, pada upacara Detik-Detik Proklamasi tahun 2023, bertindak selaku Komandan Upacara, Kolonel Armet Joko Setio Kurniawan, MSIhan, lahir di Jakarta pada tanggal 3 Februari 1979, lulusan Akademi Militer tahun 1999, jabatan Komandan Resimen Armet II Putra Yuda Kostrat. Bertindak selaku cadangan Komandan Upacara, Kolonel Penerbang Pugu Yulianto, lahir di Tuban pada tanggal 11 Juli 1979, lulusan Akademi Angkatan Udara tahun 2000. Jabatan Kepala Dinas Operasi Lanut Halim Perdana Kusuma Jakarta. Bertindak selaku Perwira Upacara, Brigadir Jenderal TNI Arkamelvi Karmani SE, lahir di Jakarta pada tanggal 10 Februari 1967, lulusan Akademi Militer tahun 1989, jabatan Kepala Staf Komando Garnisun Tetap 1, Jakarta.
Bertindak selaku Komandan Kompi Paskibraka, Kapten Marinir Ganteng Prakoso Estehan, lahir di Tegal pada tanggal 12 November 1988, lulusan Akademi Angkatan Laut 59, tahun 2014, jabatan Komandan Kompi Senapan A, Batalion Infanteri 7, Brigade Infanteri 4 BS, Korps Marinir. Bertindak selaku cadangan Komandan Kompi Paskibraka, Ajun Komisaris Polisi Laode Habibi Ade Jama, SIK MH CPXA, lahir di Kendari pada tanggal 30 Oktober 1987, lulusan Akademi Kepolisian tahun 2012, jabatan Kasat Lantas Polres Karawang Polda Jawa Barat.
Hadirin yang kami hormati, perlu kami sampaikan bahwa pasukan pengibar bendera pusaka merupakan putra-putri terbaik bangsa Indonesia yang terdiri dari 38 provinsi di bawah asuhan Badan Pembinaan Ideologi Pancasila Republik Indonesia. Adapun yang bertugas sebagai pembawa baki di pengibaran hari ini, Lili Wenda, lahir di Wamena pada tanggal 15 Mei 2007, asal sekolah SMA Negeri 1 Wamena, pengiriman dari Provinsi Papua Pegunungan. Adapun yang bertugas sebagai cadangan pembawa baki di pengibaran hari ini, Naila Aulita Al-Kubra Sinapoy, lahir di Kendari pada tanggal 23 April 2007, asal sekolah British School Jakarta, pengiriman dari Provinsi Banten.
We can see before members of the cabinet also wearing traditional outfits like Bupua Maharani.
The Speaker of the House.
Yeah, Speaker of the House, and also former President Bapak Yusuf Kala is also present. And what do you think, first of all, Pak Bondan, about the traditional outfits that they are wearing currently at the palace? It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Have you ever been at the palace?
Yeah, I have ever been, but not for this proclamation ceremony. But I think this is very amazing. Yeah, we can see a lot of representation of Indonesian culture in this palace this morning. Yeah, and it looks like very beautiful with a lot of colors and a lot of ethnic nuances. So I think this is very amazing.
And for yourself, if you were to be at the Merdeka Palace currently, which costume would you wear? Which one would you choose in your personal opinion?
I think all of these costumes are very beautiful. Anything I will.
Laksanakan.
Undangan dimohon berdiri. Presiden Republik Indonesia beserta Ibu Negara Iriana Joko Widodo dan Wakil Presiden Republik Indonesia beserta Ibu Wuri Ma'ruf Amin tiba di tempat upacara.
Siap! Gerak!
Penghormatan kebesaran.
Kepada Inspektur Upacara, hormat senjata! Gerak! Tegak senjata. Gerak.
Laporan Komandan Upacara kepada Inspektur Upacara.
Lapor upacara detik-detik proklamasi dalam rangka peringatan Hari Ulang Tahun ke-78 Kemerdekaan Republik Indonesia tahun 2023 siap dimulai.
Laksanakan.
Laksanakan.
Peringatan detik-detik proklamasi. Persiapan pembacaan teks proklamasi. Tanda kebesaran buka.
Hormat senjata. Gerak. Tegak senjata. Gerak.
Pembacaan teks proklamasi oleh Ketua Majelis Permusyawaratan Rakyat Republik Indonesia.
Proklamasi. Kami, bangsa Indonesia, dengan ini menyatakan kemerdekaan Indonesia. Hal-hal yang mengenai pemindahan kekuasaan dan lain-lain diselenggarakan dengan cara seksama dan dalam tempo yang sesingkat-singkatnya. Jakarta, 17 Agustus 1945, atas nama bangsa Indonesia, Soekarno-Hatta.
Tanda kebesaran tutu.
Hormat senjata. Gerak.
Mengheningkan cipta dipimpin oleh Inspektur Upacara.
Untuk mengenang jasa para pahlawan dan pejuang-pejuang bangsa, mengheningkan cipta dimulai. Selesai.
Pembacaan doa oleh Menteri Agama Republik Indonesia.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Hamdan syakirin, hamdan na'imin. Hamdan yuwafi ni'amahu wa yukafi'u mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karimi wa 'azimi sultanik. Allahumma sholli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali sayyidina Muhammad. Atas rahmat Tuhan yang Maha Pengasih dan Maha Penyayang, dengan nama Tuhan yang menganugerahkan kemerdekaan, dengan nama Tuhan yang menakdirkan kebinekaan, demi keagungan Tuhan yang menyabda kedamaian. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, ilhamilah kami untuk menyadari dan mensyukuri anugerah agung-Mu, kemerdekaan negeri dan bangsa kami. Syukur yang mendorong kami, bangsa kami, dan terutama pemimpin-pemimpin kami untuk terus menjaga negeri kami dan mengisi kemerdekaan dengan bersama berupaya memajukan negeri kami. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan yang Maha Pengampun, ampunilah kami, rakyat dan pemimpin-pemimpin kami, atas kelalaian kami mensyukuri anugerah-Mu dalam mengisi kemerdekaan atas rahmat-Mu. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami yang Maha Merahmati, limpahkanlah rahmat-Mu kepada kami, kepada negeri kami, bangsa kami, dan pemimpin-pemimpin kami. Anugerahilah kami pemimpin yang takut kepadamu, yang mencintai tanah air dan menyayangi rakyatnya. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami yang Maha Kuasa dan Perkasa, berilah kami dan pemimpin kami kekuatan lahir batin untuk membangun dan memajukan negeri kami. Satukanlah hati dan tekad kami bagi menciptakan kehidupan berbangsa dan bernegara dalam harmoni. Karunialah kami kekompakan untuk berjuang meraih kesejahteraan dan kebahagiaan bersama. Wahai Tuhan yang melukis takdir dan perjuangan, tanpa pertolongan-Mu takkan kami raih kemenangan, maka bimbinglah kami memaknai kemerdekaan. Tuntun langkah kami menjaga persatuan dan kesatuan, demi bumi pertiwi tumpuan penghidupan, tempat kami anak negeri mewujudkan impian. Ya Allah, Tuhan yang memberi arah tujuan, lapangkanlah hati kami meniti jalan keteladanan, terangi jalan kami mewujudkan kejayaan, hindarkan kami dari pertikaian perpecahan. Jangan biarkan kami tercerai-berai dalam permusuhan. Satukan hati kami dalam cinta dan kasih sayang. Izinkan kami mensyukuri kemerdekaan yang Engkau anugerahkan. Izinkan kami terus melaju untuk Indonesia maju yang Engkau tuntunkan. Ya Allah, Tuhan yang Maha Mengampuni, ampunilah dosa dan kesalahan kami. Ampunilah dosa orang tua dan guru kami. Ampunilah seluruh tokoh bangsa dan pemimpin kami. Ampuni dan muliakanlah para pahlawan kami. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Walhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
Undangan disilakan duduk kembali. Persiapan pengibaran sang merah putih.
Langkah tanggap maju. Jalan. Belok kiri. Jalan. Hadap kiri. Berat. Tegak senjata. Keras.
Lapor, pengibaran sang merah putih siap.
Laksanakan.
Laksanakan.
Penyerahan sang merah putih oleh Inspektur Upacara kepada pembawa bendera.
Pundak kiri, senjata! Gerak! Hadap kanan! Gerak! Belok kanan, langkah tegap, maju! Jalan! Hadap kanan, hadap kiri. Dalam. Dua kali belok kanan. Jalan. Buka formasi. Jalan. Belok kiri. Jalan. Jalan, Firman! Out! Hendak! Drop! Buka! Barisan! Jalan! Henti! Rat! Langkah tegap maju! Jalan! Henti! Rat! 3 langkah ke depan! Dan
Undangan dimohon berdiri. Penghormatan kepada Sang Merah Putih dipimpin oleh Komandan Upacara.
Kepada Sang Merah Putih, hormat senjata! Gerak! Tegak senjata! Gerak! Hadap kiri, rak, 3 langkah belakang, jalan, luruskan, lurus pada Sang Merah Putih, hormat, tutup barisan, jalan. Henti! Gerak! Formasi! Jalan! Jalan! Di depan! Gerak! Jalan! Jalan! Di depan! Gerak! Belok! Kanan! Langkah! Tegap! Maju! Jalan!
Undangan disilakan duduk kembali.
Hadap kanan, hadap kiri. Belok, belok, kanan. Jalan. Belok, kanan. Jalan. Belok, kanan. Jalan. Jalan di depan. Jalan di depan. Run. Hadap. Run. Hadap kanan. Run. Pengibaran Sang Merah Putih telah dilaksanakan. Laporan selesai.
Kembali ke tempat.
Kembali ke tempat. Pundak kiri, senjata!
Gerak! Langkah tegap maju! Jalan! Belok kanan! Jalan! Langkah biasa.
Undangan dimohon berdiri. Andika Bayangkari. Laporan Komandan Upacara kepada Inspektur Upacara.
Upacara telah dilaksanakan. Laporan selesai.
Terima kasih. Bubarkan.
Bubarkan.
Penghormatan kebesaran
Kepada Inspektur Upacara. Hormat senjata! Gerak! senjata. Gerak.
Undangan disilakan duduk kembali. Presiden Republik Indonesia dimohon duduk di mimbar kehormatan untuk menyaksikan persembahan lagu-lagu oleh Orkestra dan Paduan Suara Nasional Gita Bahana Nusantara, Flypass pesawat TNI Polri, dan persembahan spesial.
Lepas. Sanggur. Gerak. Komandan berpedang. Sarungkan pedang. Gerak. Parade. Istirahat di tempat. Gerak.
Persembahan lagu-lagu oleh Orkestra dan Paduan Suara Nasional Gita Bahana Nusantara. Gita Bahana Nusantara merupakan paduan suara dan orkestra yang beranggotakan 199 putra-putri terbaik hasil seleksi dari 33 provinsi. Di bawah binaan
Pasukan upacara. Siap! Gerak! Buka barisan! Jalan! Buka barisan! Jalan! Istirahat di tempat. Gerak.
Gita Bahana Nusantara merupakan paduan suara dan orkestra yang beranggotakan 199 putra-putri terbaik hasil seleksi dari 33 provinsi. Di bawah binaan Kementerian Pendidikan, Kebudayaan, Riset, dan Teknologi akan mempersembahkan lagu Hari Merdeka karya Hussein Al-Mutahar, penggubah lagu Purwacaraka, dan medley lagu daerah yang menggambarkan perjalanan ibu kota negara. Kicir-kicir dari Jakarta, Sue Ora Jamu dari Yogyakarta, Kampuang Nan Jau di Mato dari Sumatera Barat, Ondel-ondel dari Jakarta, dan indung-indung dari Kalimantan Timur. Penggubah lagu Purwacaraka dipimpin oleh konduktor muda berprestasi Yunis Tong.
Siap! Gerak. Buka barisan. Jalan. Buka barisan. Jalan.
Okay, so just now we saw the opening of flag raising ceremony at the Merdeka Presidential Palace, Siska. And, you know, I would say that was amazing. Watching that from the start to the finish and now having a musical performance. I am really curious, especially because we have our expert guest on the show right now. One of the highlights for me, is the Paskibraka that is also pivotal to the flag raising and later on flag lowering ceremony. Pak Gatot, what are your thoughts on today's Paskibraka? How do you feel? You mentioned before that the preparations must have been rigorous and must have taken months for them just to perfect this sequence at the flag raising ceremony. So what did you think of that ceremony just now?
Yes, before I would like to explain the complete situation about the Paskibraka, I would like to know the situation now in the Istana Merdeka. I imagine now all of the adik-adik Paskibraka are crying together.
Oh.
Wow.
Just to thank to the God, because without any mistake, even though it's very small, they could perform very well. It occurred not only today, but also from time to time, because we know the first time Paskibraka occurred in Yogyakarta when Yogyakarta became the capital of Indonesia. It was on the August 17, 1946. The creator of lagu Hari Kemerdekaan, Hussein Mutahar, as an adjutant of the President Sukarno, appealed a proposal to President Sukarno to have the so-called small celebration with Paskibraka. Even though the Paskibraka consisted only of 5 army at the time. And then it repeat again, 49, 46, 47, 48, and 49. But unfortunately, since 50 until 1966, there was no something like Paskibraka. Even though every 17th of August, we celebrate our Independence Day. And then again, due to the Hussein Mutahar, even though at the time he was already retired from the Navy, and then he proposed to the President Suharto. And then the Paskibraka, the existing Paskibraka, emerged again and until now. Even this, and then from time to time, we developed the formation and something like that one. And before it, the Paskibraka development was under supervision of the Ministry of Youth and Sport. And for example, the Ratu Lubis was the sample that she is the Paskibraka from the supervision of the Ministry of Youth and Sport. And now, since especially last year, it has been supervised by so-called the Agency for Fostering the Pancasila Ideology, or BPIP. And that is the proud of the excitement for the young people to be the Paskibraka.
Wow, so much history and context is actually embedded in this one special moment during the ceremony. I also hold my breath, Pak Gatot, and as you are, I'm very elated for them, very excited. So a hearty congratulations to all of our adik-adik Paskibraka and to DPPI for again delivering a wonderful moment during the flag raising ceremony.
As I mentioned before, try not to make any mistake, even though it's very small, because it occurred at the beginning of 1950, for example, during the Pak Harto era. I forget the exact year. It was 2 cases. One cases in which the flag should be hoisted in first.
Oh no.
Yes. And then another thing, when the female Paskibraka should return from taking the flag from Ibu Tin, and then Ibu Tin was very kind to kindly remind the female Paskibraka, there is something missing. And then she returned back to Ibu Tin, and then when she should be back to the from the stair, and then because of the stress condition, and then he counted that one. 2 in the front, the Butin, and then the left in the beginning, and then unfortunately, when she should be behind the back,
Yeah.
and then she almost fell. But fortunately, the police military over there as the guard could help up them. That's why,
Wow.
and that's why two incidents. But the rest, there will be no incident. Yeah.
Wow. That must have been harrowing when that
Yeah.
happened. I can
Mhm.
only imagine.
And for that one, they got the rehearsal
Yeah.
from the what is called dirty rehearsal 3 days ago, and then the ready rehearsals yesterday.
Okay. Well, we're glad to see no mistakes were done. It was very clean, very nicely.
Another duty should be taken again for this lowering the flag, national flag this afternoon.
Later on today.
Task is not done for our adik-adik Paskibraka.
Yeah.
But maybe I can quickly ask Ratu Lubis, who also watched how our adik-adik Paskibraka performed beautifully and admirably today at the flag raising ceremony. Ratu, what do you think of our adik-adik Paskibraka this year in 2023?
Kak Siska, the feeling of compassion is always there, and it's always increasing by the second. I can feel all of the emotions running back to me. Although it's already 6 years ago, I can still remember every instruction based on its order from the start to the finish. And I always fall in love with the energy, the excitement, and the festivities of Independence Day. How I love to study the culture of Indonesia, and it's always shown in the Independence Day. During the ceremony, all I can do is just pray that it all went well, and thankfully, thank God, it all went well.
And that's so wonderful. It's not only for the momentous event itself, but even from that, it has now for you, you have more of like a national identity, as you said before. And I'm curious, Ratu, I heard that after the Paskibraka ends, especially for example for this morning, what do you do after? Are you feeling like so joyous, so elated? Like, do you hug all the people that you're together with? Like, what happens after the flag raising ceremony?
So us as one team was divided. Team A will be delivering the morning ceremony, and then the remaining team will be delivering the evening ceremony. So they're still not done yet. There's still the evening ceremony that needs to be conducted and needs to be successfully done. But the feeling of joy also, yes, elicit, of course, because the morning ceremony was done gracefully and successfully.
Okay, thank you, Ratu Lubis.
Do you know?
Before we go back to our speakers, I think we're now gonna go to the live feed because this is one of the most awaited moment in today's celebration of the independence of Indonesia, where the fly past acrobats will soon pass the Merdeka Palace. As we said before, there's something different this year. Last year, it was only the pilots from the Air Force, but this year is from 3 armed forces of Indonesia joining this very particular moment that will give you a strong sense of nationalism and pride in being Indonesians. Let's just see, there's our President Joko Widodo in his Royal Surakarta attire and Ibu Iriana with Balinese costume.
Yes.
Very, very beautiful. Let's just take a look for a while. We don't want to miss this moment. It'll go by really quick. They are jet fighters.
Yes, they are indeed. They will jet
They will jet off us if we miss it. Blink and then you'll miss it. There you go.
Hey,
Hadirin sekalian, inilah dia Garuda Fly. Berikan tepuk tangan yang meriah untuk Garuda Fly. Hadirin yang berbahagia, masih dalam semangat menyongsong Hari Kemerdekaan Indonesia. Sesaat lagi akan melintas tepat di hadapan kita semua formasi helikopter gabungan TNI dan Polri dengan mengibarkan sang Dwi Warna Panji di langit Nusantara tercinta dalam memperingati ulang tahun ke-78 Republik Indonesia.
Helikopter ya, Polri ya.
Formasi helikopter dengan call sign Nusantara Fly terdiri dari helikopter NAS 332 Super Puma dan EC 725 Karacal TNI Angkatan Udara, helikopter AH-64 TNI Angkatan Darat, helikopter AS-565 Panther TNI Angkatan Laut, serta helikopter AW-169 Kepolisian Republik Indonesia. Yang terhormat Bapak Presiden dan hadirin yang berbahagia, datang dari sebelah kiri podium, kita sambut Nusantara Flight with Giant Flight Formation, bendera merah putih. Nusantara Flight dipimpin oleh Letnan Kolonel Penerbang Ageng Wahyudi, alumni Akademi Angkatan Udara tahun 2004, yang kesehariannya menjabat sebagai Komandan Skadron Udara 6 Lanut Atang Sanjaya Bogor. Dirgahayu Republik Indonesia, terus melaju untuk Indonesia maju.
Mari kita sambut bersama The Jupiters. The Jupiters with Head on Fire! Terlihat kedua pesawat bersiap untuk melaksanakan Head on Pass kedua. Kemudian menyusul dari sisi kiri podium, bersiap 4 pesawat lainnya dari The Jupiters akan menunjukkan sebuah tarian udara yang begitu indah dengan manuver screw roll. Dari sisi kiri podium, mari kita sambut bersama The Jupiters with screw roll. Kemudian menyusul The Pegasus dari arah belakang podium akan mengajak kita semua melaksanakan tarian yang begitu indah untuk Gemu Family Dance. Mari kita sambut bersama The Pegasus with Windmill Maneuver and Gemu Family Dance.
Persembahan spesial.
Terima kasih kepada rekan serta Aisyah, Faisal, Sertu Eka, Brinda, Diaja. Kembali lagi bersama saya Ade Mulia dan rekan saya Valeri Daniel. Hadirin yang kami hormati, alhamdulillah tadi sudah kita saksikan rangkaian upacara detik-detik proklamasi kemerdekaan Republik Indonesia yang ke-78.
Benar sekali Ade dan sesaat lagi.
Wow. We are actually speechless right now. That was such an amazing moment. Shout out to everyone at TNI for that spectacular demonstration.
Shout out to the Jupiter and Pegasus
team.
Air Force team, because that was, I'm really at loss of words, Siska.
That was actually quite mind-blowing. We were actually saying to each other, Tom Cruise, eat your heart out. You got nothing.
Tom Cruise, you're nothing compared to our fighter pilots.
Very proud indeed. I was feeling elated, very proud to be Indonesian at that very moment. And of course, we're going to discuss all aspects of today's ceremony with our speakers. But Pak Bondan, I understand that you are very busy today. You have other agenda to attend to. But before we let you go, just a quick couple of questions. First of all, you know, we would love to get your perspective as a historian on the significance on having this flag raising ceremony every 17th of August as we now celebrate the 78th independence. Why is it so important for us to remember that specific moment in our history of our nation?
Yeah, I think this is because our history. We have already been colonized by the Dutch for 350 years. So that's why it is very important for us as a nation to always remember how we are struggling to get our independence. That is not so easy struggle. So we have to do a lot of things to gain our independence, even we have lost some of our best figures in our history. So that's why this is very important, I think, to always remember how we get our independence on 17th of August.
Yeah, as our founding father have said, Bung Karno, jas merah.
Yes.
Jangan melupakan sejarah. Never ever forget
the history.
Even though we are now moving forward for advanced Indonesia. Pak Bondan, one question I would love to ask you. One of the much awaited moment as well at the flag raising ceremony at Merdeka Palace, especially the last few years since President Joko Widodo resides as, you know, the commander-in-chief, as inspector of the ceremony. He always wears different types of traditional attire. Along his 2 terms as president, we've seen so many different Indonesian traditional attires. And this is his last appearance
I think
as president.
Next year he will be also become the
inspector.
The inspector of the next year.
Still not yet.
Next year, The last is next year, I think.
The last is next year. Okay. I was wondering, with all the choices that he has from all over Indonesia, this rich archipelago, he chooses one specific attire. It is called the Ageman Songkok Singkepan Ageng, Royal Surakartan attire. Now, as an expert in cultural science, I just want to get your perspective on this specific choosing of the president as he is now living his last days as president after serving 2 terms that many have said are very successful 2 terms. And right now with 70% public approval, which is quite spectacular numbers. What do you think, Pak?
Yes, I think this is to remind us that Pak Jokowi actually is come from Solo.
Back to his roots.
Perhaps, you have to remember that he started his career as a politician, as a mayor of Solo cities. Perhaps this is why he chose to wearing this kind of clothes for this occasion.
So also like a token of appreciation for everyone in Solo for supporting him and for giving him the foundation to become the president that he is now. Pak Bondan, just quickly maybe a summary of how you have been feeling watching the flag raising ceremony, especially that incredible performance by TNI.
I feel very proud with the achievement of our nation. It is very clearly this morning we have already seen a lot of very incredible things shown not only by our students but also by all of member of our society. For example, like what has already shown by the TNI. Just we seen this morning that is very incredible performance, I think. I'm very proud.
You're very proud. The national Indonesian spirit.
I feel very proud.
And of course, every year it's very special. But I think this year there's a certain element that makes it even more special because this might be the last time that we're going to see the flag raising ceremony here in Jakarta, because next year, if all goes to plan, the flag raising ceremony will be conducted in the new capital in Kalimantan.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
and
perhaps yes.
Yes.
Yeah, perhaps yes.
So we can see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay,
We'll see.
Pak Bondan, thank you
Yes.
so much for
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
your
Yeah, Mbak Audrey,
insights.
Mbak Siska.
We
Yes.
truly appreciate you, Pak Bondan Kanumoyoso. You're from historian from the Cultural Sciences at the University of Indonesia. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your expertise.
You are welcome.
Thank you, Pak. Happy Independence Day once again.
Happy Independence Day.
Merdeka.
Okay, now before we continue with our discussion with our guest speakers, let's see one more time at the live picture from Merdeka Palace as the celebration continues of the 78th anniversary of Indonesia's independence. Let's have a look.
Bak permata siratan bintang kejora, kan ku persembahkan bagimu bangsa putihnya pesona ramah-ramah neka persembahkan bagi bantu Indonesia suci melati. Tajuk bak permata siratan bintang kejora, kan ku persembahkan bagimu bangsa nya pesona ramah-ramah neka warna, kan ku persembahkan bagi bantu Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kepada yang terhormat Bapak Presiden dan Ibu Iriana Joko Widodo, selamat siang Bapak dan Ibu. Selamat siang semuanya. Alhamdulillah, pertama-tama Putri mengucapkan terima kasih yang sebanyak-banyaknya. Putri sangat bangga, senang dan terharu sekali bisa menjadi bagian dari perayaan peringatan kemerdekaan ke-78 Republik Indonesia. Dirgahayu Republik Indonesia, terus melaju untuk Indonesia maju. Sebelum lanjut ke lagu berikutnya, izin Bapak Presiden, Putri ingin menyampaikan informasi bahwa Putri akan tampil lagi di semifinal America's Got Talent pada tanggal 5 September hari Selasa waktu LA dan tanggal 6 September hari Rabu waktu Indonesia. Dan Putri minta doa dan dukungan dari seluruh masyarakat Indonesia. Terima kasih. Lagu berikut ini spesial untuk semuanya. Kelanganku sing paling tak sayang, stop mencintai gawe aku.
Wow, another great moment at Merdeka Palace.
Yes, a great celebration. I love all the music, and even here's this guy in the studio. I feel like we were dancing along with all the ministers and also President Jokowi.
Yeah, never have I ever felt that I wanted to be at Merdeka Palace for the celebration of Indonesia's independence than today, to see all of them smiling from ear to ear in the sense of celebration. That was actually quite amazing. And kudos to Putri Ariani for,
yes,
that was an amazing performance.
She has such a beautiful voice.
Yes, and she is now Indonesia's pride and joy, right?
She is.
Very
I love the second choice, the song too, because I really think that a song like that, it's really Indonesian. It really brings people together. Like, I mean, Siska, have you ever seen Bu Retno dancing?
I know, all of them.
All of them dancing.
Ibu Puan Maharani were dancing, and I think I have a strong feeling that our President Joko Widodo also wanted to dance along.
Deep inside.
Yeah, we know that he's a big music fan.
Yeah,
he appreciates music. He loves going to concerts. He listens to a lot of different genres, so he must be really happy seeing all the audiences and the invitees having such a wonderful time at Merdeka Palace. Now, Audrey, so I can give you a little bit more time to absorb all the happiness that you just enjoyed watching all the celebration. Also, something special happening in Bali, of course, celebrating our independence. We hear that there's also a flag hoisting ceremony that's just concluded. But now we're going to find out what happens now in the Island of the Gods from our reporter, Jayantri. Hi, Jayantri.
Hi, Jayantri.
Jayantari, excuse us. Jayantari, please tell us what is happening now in Bali after the flag hoisting ceremony has concluded. Go ahead, Jayantari.
Out here since earlier this morning. Since earlier this morning, heavy rain has been pouring throughout Bali throughout the 78th Independence Day celebration. I am now reporting the situation post-Independence Day celebration here in Puputan Margarana Niti Mandala in Renon Denpasar. Technically, the celebration here in Bali itself is not much of a difference compared to other regions in Indonesia. The flag hoisting ceremony started at 8 a.m. local time and was officially closed 1 hour after. The governor of Bali province, Wayan Koster, alongside with several government agencies conducting the flag hosting ceremony. Furthermore, all participants were required to wear and use Balinese traditional clothing called Adat Madya. Adat Madya itself represents Bali's authentic culture, as the government of Bali province has continuously stressed out the importance of preservation of the Anda and also Songket. One particular effort that need to be addressed and appreciated is the flag hoisting team's effort and also spirit in conducting their duty amidst heavy rain that has been pouring relentlessly and continuously since the past 3 hours. Precisely 36 senior high school students were coronated as the flag hosting team on the 15th of August by the Vice Governor of Bali, Cokorde Oke Arte Ardane Sukawati. These senior high school students came from all regencies from all over Bali province. In this very celebration, Siska and Audrey, the governor of Bali, Wayan Koster, also expressed his gratitude towards the achievements that Bali province has achieved. One of them is how Bali has successfully hosted the G20 summit, supporting the Indonesia Emas 2045 program, accordingly with the vision of Nangun Satkarti Loka Bali in order to achieve the new era of Bali province. At the end of the day, however, all of these achievements cannot be separated, and thanks to the sacrifices and legacy of the struggle for independence conducted by our national heroes. And finally, Siska and also Audrey, Jayantari and Boy Nasation reporting directly from Puputan Margarana, Niti Mandala, Renon Denpasar. Now returning back to Siska and Audrey in the TVRI World Studio in Jakarta. Merdeka!
Yes, Jayantari, Merdeka, thank you so much for your report from Bali. And it is really incredible to see how everyone is still in the spirit of Merdeka in the midst of heavy rain in Bali.
Sorry to hear about the unfortunate weather. Hopefully it'll clear up soon so people can enjoy those beautiful sceneries in Bali while also celebrating Indonesia's independence. Once again, thank you to Jayantari, our TVRI reporter from Bali, for that report. Now let's go back to our speaker, Pak Gatot. We also saw you dancing and smiling with all the invitees at the Merdeka Palace. Pak Gatot, we know you are quite a senior member of, all the festivities that happens at the Merdeka Palace every year to celebrate the independence, because you are the guardians of the Paskibraka. So you're there for so many years already. What do you think is special and different in this year's celebration at Merdeka Palace?
First of all, because the main task of the Paskibraka for this year is heavier than before it.
Okay.
Because not only about they have to be trained how to march perfectly, but they have to overcome the overwhelming, complicated problem for the youth people. That's why on the beginning of the training, as I told you before, they joined the Lemhanas, and then after that, almost every night, we invited all of the various speakers from the various experts in order to feed them how they have to struggle, how to survive after the Paskibraka. Because sometimes there is a saying among us, among the Paskibraka. Yes, after joining, after surfing in the President Palace, and then they are very surprised, very confident, they're very satisfied. No, we are Paskibraka. No, actually that is the beginning of the battle.
Okay.
The real battle will come later. For example, when they will return back to their city, their province, and then everybody would like to have a look. Oh, you are Paskibraka, so you should be perfect. You should be the talent spotting for the public figure, and that is the psychological effect for them. And that's why last time, for example, 10 days ago, when I was invited as a speaker to feed them, and then I told them, no, this is the time good for them to control by themselves, to introspect by themselves, in order to know what they have to do the next. For example, Ratu is a good sample. For example, we could talk on the very fluency English with Ratu.
Yeah.
And because last time, like last week too, I asked everybody, anybody speak English? Iya kak, but standar gitu.
Okay.
And then anybody speak other than language?
Yeah.
And then somebody raised the hand. Yes, Pak, I speak German because I speak German.
Okay.
And then I tried to ask her, because she's a female Paskibraka, in the German language. The message what would like to say to them is, please, not only about the language, but also about the competency and the networking, and also how they have to overcome the future. No, because on the challenging situation, they have to perform better than the previous one.
Okay.
See. Wow, and then I'm curious because you mentioned that as well in terms of like after Paskibraka, there is another impact in their life. In terms of Ratu, connecting to that, what is some of the impacts that you felt after being Paskibraka in 2017? Because Pak Gatot before mentioned that before and after is usually quite different. So what are the impacts that you personally felt after you went back to your own province after being Paskibraka here in the palace?
Okay, excuse us, Ratu. I think there is some audio issue. Could you make sure that you're not muted? There you are.
Can you hear my voice?
It's great. Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Kak Audrey and Kasiska. What I was saying is that serving as a Paskibraka member does have its share of challenges and rewards. Upsides includes the honor of representing the nation on a significant occasion. And one of the feelings that I will always remember is the proud feeling that I get to bring my family into the Independence Castle to see me perform, to see their little girl become a woman, I guess, at that time. But membership in Paskibraka have a lasting positive impact on an individual's life and career. The experience instills valuable qualities such as discipline, teamwork, leadership, and a strong sense of nationalism. Many former members of the Paskibraka go on to achieve success in various fields, drawing upon lessons learned during their service. So we have a term actually, Kasiska Ka Audrey, 30 days for 30 minutes for 30 years. So we train together as a team for 30 days to perform 30 minutes. But the effect from our 30 days training and 30 days performance, we get to feel it for the next 30 years.
Wow, that's amazing. I can only imagine the sense of camaraderie between all the Paskibraka members. Even after you concluded your task, your duty in the palace, I just want to know, how do you keep each other attached to one another? Even though you're no longer training together, do you still keep in touch with one another?
Oh, we do. One thing that I'm grateful for the digital era is how easy for us to connect. Every year, August 17 will always be a special date for me and my friends.
Oh, that's really great, and I love how this. I guess like now that you are in Paskibraka, I'm sure it's you're now like a family, right, with each other. It's no longer strangers coming together from different provinces of Indonesia, but you have come together to become a team, a unit.
Like a family,
yes,
I would say.
Yeah.
Is it hard parting with them when you had to part a few, maybe a week after you concluded your task? What was it like parting with each other, going back to your provinces?
Yes.
I am a very sentimental person, so I cried every day and every night before parting with all of my friends. Being together with them for the past 30 days have created a bond between us because we have one vision during that time is to ensure that the flag hoisting it was done seamlessly and perfectly. So because of that one vision, we created a bond between us. And when it's time to part ways, it's really hard. I cried the whole time.
Okay. Ratu, we haven't asked you, what did you think of the celebration today at Merdeka Palace? What do you think of the whole ceremony and also all the entertainment that followed after that?
It's really fun to always reminisce during the Independence Day. I love seeing all of the guests with their best outfit. Me, myself, even if I am celebrating from my house, I am using a Balinese-influenced kebaya. It's actually same as Ibu Iriana today, choosing the Balinese tradition. And it's really fun seeing all of the performance. I always love watching the National Army performance up in the air. It's always a great time during Independence Day.
Okay, I think we're seeing pictures now on screen of you as member of Paskibraka back in 2017. Are these pictures bringing back good memories now to you, Ratu?
Oh yes, very sweet memories.
Okay, Pak Gatot, for a lot of young people who are watching us right now, who feel that they've always done their best in school, they've been exemplary students, and they're thinking, I would like to be a part of the Paskibraka team. Is there like a certain path that they can pursue to be able to call themselves a member of Paskibraka?
Yes, every young people, the student of senior high school, especially from the grade 1 and grade 2, they have right to be selected as a member of the candidate of Paskibraka. At the beginning, they should be selected from its school, and then from its school to the resident or the city, and then to the province level, and finally to the to those who will be delivered to Jakarta, to President Palace. Gitu. And with the criteria consisted of, for example, the physical condition, the performance, and also the medical record, as well as the intellectual capacity. That should be perfect, totally. And then another thing that we have to say that even those, for example, anybody, any teenager come from the rich people or from the high-ranking official, it doesn't matter about that one. So as far as they have to fulfill to meet the criteria, they could be selected as a Paskibraka. For me myself, I didn't serve for the President Palace. At the time of 1978, I served only for the province level because I feel to be elected for the national Paskibraka, and then I serve for the province level in the front of the governor. But I'm lucky, and now last year I was elected as the member of the advisory board because the DPPI itself consists of not only for those Paskibraka of in the President Palace, but also for the Paskibraka serving for the province and the city.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
So there's actually quite a big chance to be selected as one of the Paskibraka, if not on a national level, performing at the Merdeka Palace, but
that's correct,
the province level.
And then another thing that it's very, very excited to know, for example, because supposing 1 month for them, they could not touch their gadgets. So it's prohibited for them. No, from the beginning.
That must be really hard. Especially for young
For
people.
the young people, this guy.
Young people, yes.
Attached to their mobile.
I would have a
For example, they came here in Jakarta on July 15, and then on the first day it was okay, and the second day we told them, so sorry, adik-adik, from now it's prohibited for you to use the gadget.
Okay.
Then
I see Ratu laughing right now. I think she's remembering that day.
You felt that way.
Ratu, how did you survive without your mobile phone for 30 days?
For a month. Wow, that must have been like, as for me as well, like right now with social media, like Ratu, did you feel like not having your phone, like, did you actually feel more relieved not having your phone? Because in a way, like Pagoto said, nobody had their phone. Or were you even more nervous because you're like, oh no, I can't, I can't post things and contact people?
Well, thankfully, I was fine.
Ratu, I think you're muted again, just to make sure you check your audio. There you go. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Turns out I'm still alive. I survived 1 month without my phone. I'm good. But being away from my phone actually gives me more appreciation to the moments that we spend together as a team with my friends. So there's actually a cost to why our phone was actually kept from us, to keep us stay focused and keep us stay in the moment.
I see. And you must also have quite a jam-packed schedule every day, training and all other routine that you have to do every day as member of Paskibraka. Now, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about those training and what is the biggest lesson from all those training that you get that you still carry with yourself even until now?
So the National Training Camp is a crucial phase in preparing the Paskibraka members for the Independence Day ceremony. So for each of us, at that time there was only 34 provinces in 2017. Now there's 38.
Less than now.
So from 34 province, we gathered together in Pepepon Cibubur, and then every day leading up to the event, us as the member of the Paskibraka team, undergo intense rehearsals for preparing the ceremony, the flag handling, and the precise timing. That is why I say 30 minutes, because that's the time allocated from the start to the end. 30 minutes, no more and no less. That is the precise timing that we have been exercising during our training camp, national training camp.
Okay.
We also received...
Really sorry to cut you off, but we're going to have to go back to the Merdeka Palace for the closing ceremony. Just we're going to get back to you really soon.
We will.
Yeah. Now let's get back to Merdeka Palace. The president is now leaving the venue of the ceremony as inspector of the ceremony.
He's going to go back into the presidential palace.
Saying thank you to everyone there. There's the speaker of the People's Consultative Assembly, Mr. Bambang Susatyo. We also see Ibu Megawati, former president and head of one of the political parties.
Ibu Puan Maharani, who's the head of the House of Representatives, is also present. We also see some ambassadors as well today, Siska, ambassadors of these embassies in Indonesia, who are also, all of them present today.
Indeed. There's Mr. Yusuf Kala, former Vice President, congratulating the current Vice President, Aruf Amin. Such a wonderful sight to see. I'm sure that the celebration actually continues inside the palace with all these government officials letting loose for one day.
For one day,
For one day. The work continues again tomorrow, I'm sure.
For the Independence Day, however.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
There's a lot of agenda to be fulfilled by President Joko Widodo and his cabinet for the little remaining of time as in his presidency.
Terima kasih, semuanya lancar.
Undangan disilakan duduk kembali.
Para komandan pasukan, sesuaikan rencana. Kerjakan!
Upacara detik-detik proklamasi dalam rangka peringatan Hari Ulang Tahun ke-78 Kemerdekaan Republik Indonesia tahun 2023 selesai.
Balik kanan. Gerak. Pundak kiri, senjata! Gerak! Maju! Jalan!
There you have it. The troops are leaving the field. That means the ceremony is officially over. Once again, congratulations to the whole committee for another successful celebration at Merdeka Palace. And now we are also ready to say goodbye to our guest speakers. Thank you so much for your insights, your stories, and your experiences.
Thank you for the invitation.
Of course. Now, before we let you go, maybe just a closing statement from each of you, and maybe some motivational words to especially our young viewers watching on how they can truly contribute to the advancements of our nation as we celebrate the 78th independence. Maybe Ratu can start first.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, Pak Gatot. So, Paskibraka, me joining Paskibraka is a fraction when compared to what our predecessor have done or have struggled with to gain our independence. And I believe that the youth of our age, my age, have very much the potential, the media, their own ways to create legacies for our country, Indonesia. I believe that because of Paskibraka, I can now not anymore ask what my country can do for me, but what I can do for my country. And I believe that Independence Day will always be a monumental date for us young people. So thank you, Kak Siska, Kak Audrey. Thank you juga, Pak Gatot. Dan Merdeka.
Yes, Merdeka Ratu.
Thank you, Ratu.
Closing remarks from Ratu. And now going to Pak Gatot. What is the message that you want to say, especially, like Kasiska said, for the younger generation who want to contribute to our nation, whether it be in Paskibraka or also in other aspects?
Yes, because Paskibraka is a free welcome to every young people, especially teenager from the Sydney High School. And then hopefully that for the next Paskibraka, there will be another, a lot of the young people could join the Paskibraka. Because when joining Paskibraka, not only to have how to march perfectly, but also to get a lot of information, a lot of knowledge. For example, the day after now, tomorrow, or at least the day after on the from the Sunday until the end of the leaving Jakarta, they will be invited by the various minister, various CAO in Jakarta, in order that they are very happy, pleased to be invited. Hopefully, not only about the networking, and they could have the various knowledge about how they have to manage the country. And last but not least, when I would like to deliver message to the teenager, Paskibraka is not for the August Independence Day. Paskibraka is for a lot of things they have to overcome for the challenging period. Now it's very difficult situation without any special competency, and then they could not survive. And through Paskibraka, that is only one of the other means to get better life in Indonesia. Yeah.
Wow. So, yeah,
Thank you so much, Pak Gatot Dewa
you,
Broto,
Pak.
the Advisory Board member of DPPI. Thank you for your time. We wish you all the best. And once again, Merdeka.
Merdeka. Thank you very much.
All right, Audrey, although the celebration at Merdeka Palace has ended, but the celebration right here in the studio doesn't end. We continue the live coverage of Indonesia's independence. We will continue, of course, with contacting a lot of Indonesian diaspora after this. And we'll continue until 6 p.m. actually on TVRI World. Stay tuned for the whole
flag lowering ceremony as well, Siska. Yes.
Okay, so for now, we bid you farewell, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for the next segment of our live broadcast. I'm Siska Becker.
And I'm Audrey Utoyo. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Goodbye.
Bye. Merdeka.
Merdeka.